Okay, what do you know? Here we are again. And I've got something to show you today. This is my first video for a while. I've been quite busy putting older video that I've already taken a while ago up on YouTube, which you can go along and see any of those. There's quite a few videos up there now. Some of them are long rambling streams of consciousness. I'm aware of that. Some of them are more specific to little things I've done. I've just recently posted one, by the way, which is about how to clock the Behringer 960 sequencer using the Arturia Mini Freak that I've got sitting over here. Now I say over here because when I took that video it was over here. I've had something of a refurb. I'd say refurb. I've had a move around and I've added or moved some of the furniture to make more space, and I've even had to commandeer other bits of odd furniture as well. So let's have, before we start, I've got something to show you. I've just put together very quickly with the Melodeon and with a few of the modules on the Mini Freak over here. Just wanted to show you what's been going on and some changes and updates to the studio. So let's turn you around and have a look at the latest layout. So of course the 55 is in the same place, and it has been joined, as you will probably see in another video, by the MPK Mini Plus. Sorry. I love this little keyboard. It's very, very functional. It's got lots of stuff going on, which, like many things in this room, I have yet to fully explore. But you know what, I have a lot of time on my hands in future, I hope, in which to do so. So next to that, the Behringer D has joined us. Something odd about that I've discovered about the MIDI with the Melodeon, which is a little bit weird, but anyway, not to worry about that right now. Something to do with the triggering, I think. So we've now got a Behringer D there. I've got the MS-20 is up there, and the GR1, the granular synth, is there. The two mixers are kind of accessible over in that corner. I've got some effects units, including the Nanoverb and the M Audio, which is acting as an audio interface for the Tasty Chips GR1, because it doesn't have an audio interface of its own. And then over in here, you can see I've got all the kit switched on here. So I ended up buying a small vertical rack for the, or slightly tilted rack for the two Korg modules here, and beneath them, as you can see, we've got the Mini Freak there, which we're going to, as you can see, it's all turned on. That's going to be connected up to the as we'll see, is connected up to the Melodeon. So we're going to have a bash for that. In the drum section, the Digitact is here, and so is the little Volca sample. Haven't used that for a while. I'm sure it'll come back into things a while. The Mini Nova is now over there, and as we go through to this side, so I'm still getting to grips with the Poly-N tracker. Just under the desk there, under the drive, I've also got the Poly-N Play Plus, which I have produced a satisfactory version of Kraftwerk's model on, but of course I can't play that to you for fear of it sounding too much like the real thing and getting a copyright strike. Mini disc recorder, which you've seen before, and of course the laptop is running with these two screens. Then I've got the two audio interfaces, for one for the laptop and one of course for this over here, which is the iMac, my old iMac, which I'm still using. That's now accompanied by a little Arturia Microlab. But there we go. I honestly bought this forgetting that it doesn't have a separate MIDI connection. I was going to use it as a controller for another synth, but in the end I didn't, because it doesn't have that facility. Never mind, it's found a home there, and that's great. And then there's its larger sibling, the Keylab Essential. But I've got something else over here now, which has come along, and it's this. This is the Technics KN2000 organ, PCM keyboard, as it likes to call itself. I absolutely love this thing. Now, I had one of these way too long ago. It must have been almost 30 years ago when I had one of these, possibly even a bit longer. And I had it for a few years, and I sold it because I needed to raise some money for a trip. And I've kind of missed it all that time. And I saw one in a charity shop, the Dutch Hospital charity shop in Milton Keynes. It's for the Will and Hospice, a really good charity, obviously a very worthy cause, and items are donated and then sold, and obviously they make their whatever profits go to looking after people in their end-of-life care. So that is a great reason to go and buy your second-hand kit there. And this was one of the things that I got from there, and I'm definitely going back. They had other kit that I will be looking for. I even managed to get some blank floppy disks to go in the drive there. That tells you something about how old the KN2000 is. But absolutely lovely piece of kit. I mean, the instruments are of their time. They're quite basic. It does have some lovely blown instruments. I rather like the saxophone. All those kind of things. It's got some lovely instruments like that. A lovely clear LCD screen with everything, and a full range of MIDI menus and things that you can change. So it is MIDI enabled, of course, and it will plug into this, and it can be the master or it can be controlled by other instruments, by the DAW or whatever. So that's great. And of course it has, as a kind of entertainment keyboard, it does of course have a full complement of built-in rhythms, which if you're trying to get your head around something for a tune could well be useful. And then those instruments also come out as percussion, and there are different kits that's available as well. So lots of kits, including an electric and a synth kit. So there you go, lots of different kits available for that, and plus the good old pianos. And I saw from another YouTube video I was watching that this does actually have a pretty good Yamaha DX7 piano emulator. It was obviously around about the same time as the DX7 was popular, or maybe a bit later, and obviously, like a lot of people, Technics wanted to emulate that sound. No one's going to do it quite like Yamaha, of course, but I'm not saying that was the sound, but it's just a nice instrument, and it brings back many happy memories for me. So there you go, that's the setup in here now. And if I'm just going to pull away from here, and you can see a little bit more of the setup if I just move out of my usual place. So there we go, that's the studio now. And my my next thing I want to do is to just have a little bit of a play around here. Apologies for all the camera adjusting. I don't really feel the need to keep turning the camera on and off. I'm sure you're able to cope with a few adjustments there. There you go. So what am I doing? What else? Why have I got this on? All this over here. Well, let's take you back there. Having put you there, let's take you back to look at what's over here. So I've got the multi-poly running a Saw Stacks patch. It's preset, and oh hello, that's the Mini Freak, and that's the Mod Wave which also has using one of the presets. I'm using all the presets. Let's face it, anyone who ever worked a piano that was always using the presets. Now I've got this kind of quite stringy bass preset on there. It's called Raid. That might not be in focus, but you get the idea. So those three things together are going to be at I've got them set up on here. Let me bring you back round. I've got them set up as separate MIDI channels that will communicate with the Melodeon here. So on the Melodeon here, there is actually a small screen just at the top here. Kind of awkward to show it to you. It's tiny. It's even smaller. Well, actually, it's not quite as small as the one on the. Oh, come on, let me show you. That there is a small screen just here, and on using that screen, you can set up all of the MIDI channels or channel assignments and things like that, and among other sort of more instrument relevant settings as well. And what I've done is we've got the melody side down here, which is controlling the multi-poly. That's on MIDI channel 1. I've got the bass. It's sort of clicky, but I think that's something to do with the preset itself. If I play the preset on the keyboard, you can see that. So the buttons on here are the bass side of this is playing the Mini Freak, and the other buttons on here are chord buttons. As you can hear, that's playing the multi-poly, and that's the Cool Stacks preset on, not the multi-poly, I'm sorry, the mod wave. So that's playing the mod wave. The bass is on the Mini Freak, and the lead, all of the right hand here is playing the multi-poly. So from that, I'm just going to play a nice sort of copyright friendly Morris tune for you and give you a sense of how this goes together. And I hope that I will be able to put this into some sort of future music productions. I'm more at home with this than I am with keyboards, which is ironic considering how many keyboards I'm surrounded with here. So let's see what we can do. And like I say, I want to put this into some of the other things that I come up with in future. So thanks for watching. I'm just going to play this through, and then we'll see how we go from there. So this is called Sweet Jenny Jones. there you go. So that's Sweet Jody Jones, by some standards no doubt murdered, in certain people's opinion, by me on this electronic Melodeon. So yes, of course I can play the traditional version of this as well on a traditional instrument, but this is this is me trying to just break out of the traditional mold and do mess about with things and just see what sounds I can make happen, which is why I do all this other stuff too. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed the little look around the studio as it is. It gradually evolves. I had to move everything around after I got some I bought some cheap and cheerful rack mounted stands for these modules, the two Korg modules, amongst other things, and they didn't work out very well. They were MDF, and it was completely untreated MDF. It was horrible. It was dusty. It was causing me to feel sensitive and allergic the moment I got anywhere near it. And so it's all currently sitting in my workshop with a view to being treated and sealed, and it may be used for some other rack mounted equipment in the future, who knows. But it definitely can't be used in its present form. It all needs to be properly treated and sealed, and probably with a coat of a thin paint, something to make it a little bit more sort of studio friendly. Right, so thanks for watching. It's not as long as some of my usual offerings. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed the little experimentation with the Melodeon there, and if you want to know anything more about the Melodeon itself, please do ask. They're all handmade by a chap called Steve Rouse. I've had 2 of these off him over the years. The first one I sold on at and got this one. And yeah, there are various well-known folk musicians who do have one of these. I say some people love them, some people hate them. It's a Marmite Melodeon. What can I say? Thanks again, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.